All right, so it's a nice, cool, brisk morning. Got my coffee, came out here and I thought, I'll get some work done, a little bit of work done around the house. So, my old mower here all of a sudden decided to pour gas out of the carburetor. So I just got it sitting there, I drained the gas, and that's where I've left it. So I grabbed my weed eater. The primer bulb cracked, so it doesn't run, and so there it sits. I don't have time for this, right? So at least my rider worked to get the skis up into the driveway. So I'm going to go to the most important thing this morning, and we're going to start out again. I guess this will be like part 2 of getting these skis running. I don't know how to split it. I guess maybe I'll branch it off and just say a 96 GTX. That's the one we're going to work on first today, and see if we can get that running today. So let me have a little more coffee here, and then we will get started on the GTX. All right, so let me catch you up on what I did through the week. I usually don't get a chance to work on these things during the week, but I did attempt it one night. Got some really good footage of working on this thing one night. So you may or may not see it right now. I don't know if I'll splice it in, but yeah, really good footage there. But let me show you what I did. Let me get it pointed down in here right. So the carburetor is gone, and underneath it there is no starter. So the last video sounded like this thing was locked up, right? My hope was that it was the starter, and so I took that off, tested it, and the starter was good. So I believe it was Nick, you called it, you said the starter was good. Although I don't know if I'm going to give you full credit, because you said it was a 717 starter. This is a 787, so give you half credit, the starter is good. Now the reason I haven't taken it off this trailer is you can just see my hands, arms were just covered with oil and just getting the carburetor and the starter out of this thing. So you can see the filth here. So I don't want to put it on my dolly just yet and get it into the garage, because I want to be able to clean this out, and so I can at least jack the front of this trailer up and maybe take it to a car wash and clean this hull out really good before I stick it on the dolly. And so that's why I've left it on the trailer. So today what I'm going to be doing, let me step off the back here, try not to jerk the camera around. So what do you think? Today pump comes off. Now I did crawl under here, flashlight, and took a look all up into the grill underneath to see if there's anything binding. I didn't see anything, and so I'm going to take this pump off and try it that way. I mean, the only other way that I'm thinking I could test this is to go in through the stator to the front of the engine, but I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to take the pump off and see if the motor will turn over without the pump, and of course see if the pump is itself bound up here. So, and I don't know if they're the same. They're different part numbers, but the pump is already off of this one. It's just kind of hanging on there. So are these pumps interchangeable? I don't know. But I'm going to get this off, get the reverse, get the nozzle off, get the pump out, and we'll take a look and see if they're interchangeable. 2 years difference in the skis. I looked them up. They have 2 different part numbers. So maybe it won't work. But so let's stop here, get this pump off, and let's see if we can check this engine out, see if we got an engine problem or a pump problem. All right. Alright, so I hope there's not too much glare. So these are, if it is, there's a lot of videos I believe on removing the pumps, but so I'm going to take off the reverse bucket first, and then I'm going to go from there. I really don't have a certain way that I take these off. It's just simply because I haven't done this a lot. So, but anyway, start here with a 10 mil. I'm going to remove the reverse linkage here. Alright, so I got the reverse nozzle off. I've got the, or just the reverse off. I got the nozzle off here, and should be 2 O-rings here. I don't even see them. So that's interesting. I would expect they would have been there and dropped off, but again, well, there they are. I guess they put some sealant around them, so they are there. It looks like they need to be replaced, but at least they are there. So I believe I've got 17. These are 17s to be pulled out. Just checking out if there's anything else I need to remove. It's been a while since I pulled a pump out. I need to go in to the back of the ski, and at least on the previous older skis I've removed the pump. I've got these 2 lines to remove in the back of the ski, so let me do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got the lines connected from inside the hull. Let's move on get these broken loose here. I do not expect it to be easy, but it felt pretty easy. So what I'm working with now, so it's breaking loose. It feels like it's breaking loose from the ski itself, from the plate. I don't remember what that plate is, what it's called, but anyway. But then behind it have the splines that's got to come out. But that was really too easy, guys. Not used to that. All right, so this is not what I expected. This is not good, at least for right now. So again, hopefully you can see this, but you can see it spins freely. The wearing looks to be in really good shape, and this impeller looks to be in better shape than the 98 next to me. So the gaps look pretty good if you can pick that up between the impeller and the wearing. Maybe you have to measure it right up in here, but all right, so that did not work. So I was really hoping that maybe this had just been bound up and we had a bad pump. All right, I'm going to stop here just for a minute and think about my next step. All right. All right, guys. So I decided to do what I did with on the last or the first video with the 98 GTX, and that is see if I could spin it with the shaft. So as I said before, I've got this nut that I've slides over the splines of the shaft, and it is not budging. So this is locked up. So I guess the next step, let me go back. I haven't tried the other way. Well, I'm getting some turn here, and that's it. So I've got a small. I just have a small turn, and that's it. So wait a second. Did we break it loose? No. So let me try it. Let me go back again. I went further. Let me hold on a second. I've got these spark plugs in it, so let me get the spark plugs out real quick and try this again. Alright, so remove the spark plugs. You know, I don't know how much of a turn I would say I got, but as I was removing the plugs, I hope this is focusing. Look how wet the plugs are, and there's no smell of gas on these plugs. So do we have water in the engine? So hopefully you're picking that up. Hopefully it is focusing on it. I don't know, but let's give it a turn now and see. What did I do with the ratchet? Left it on there. All right. So there's where I'm just getting to a point and it doesn't budge. Let's go back the other way. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I'm kind of surprised at all this. I really thought by the the information that I got was this was the runner, but it seems to be locked up. So what's the next step? We take the head off of this, take a look down into the pistons and see what we can pick up. So I'm just going to leave this attached, and let's take the head off and let's see what we got. All right. So I went ahead, I removed, you got 12 bolts to take the heads off, or the head off, so I undid those. Now I left the two rear hoses, I just left them connected, so the only hose that I connected was up front, if I can point that right. Here we go. And so I've just moved it off to the side, and then we have this secondary plate, whatever it's called. So I have not opened this yet, so you're going to see this with me, and I don't know that we're going to see anything, but yeah, we are. Let me, gasket or the ring is wanting to come out with it. All right. Now this doesn't look bad. Set that over here. Here's the top. Again, nothing really bad, but can you see the rust here? A lot of rust. So we have got water that's gotten down into this engine. Wow. So let me go ahead and get these off, and this is going to be harder to do this. I'm not sure I can do it in the engine, but I'm going to attempt it to get those off. In fact, I don't know. No, I'm not going to be able to get those off. The whole engine's got to come out. It's been a year since I rebuilt the other Sea-doo, So the exhaust has got to come off, and then I can remove the cylinder heads. But I don't have any way of leaving the camera here and going to the back and trying to spin this thing, but we are locked up, and we've got a lot of rust, if you're picking that up. What I'm going to do now, I'll get my GoPro and lower it down in there, and we get a better look hopefully on the inside. There's a lot of glare, so hopefully you're picking it up well, but over my shoulder and looking down, it's turned out to be a really nice sunny day, and it's really a lot of glare. So let me get my GoPro. Let's see if this is any better. From up here, it looks like there's a lot of rust. And like I said, if I had someone here that could turn this engine to see, but we're not getting a lot of movement. It looks like on the head of the piston here, looks like a lot of rust build up in here. So like I said, it's a little hard for me to see it. Hopefully it's picking up. But so this engine's got to come out. You know, I could probably disconnect the pipe here and take the exhaust pipe off this. Anyway, just wasting time sitting here trying to think about it, but really the only solution right now is to pull the engine and just see what the damage is on the inside. But obviously it looks as if some water's gotten in there, so comment below you know, what you think, maybe from your experience of what you see of how these pistons and cylinders look. But from my angle, looks pretty bad. Alright guys, so just coming back here. So here's what I'm going to do, just kind of close out this video, I guess, stop here, is I'm going to go ahead and put the head back on, just so I don't have any loose or, you know, bolts around that I could lose. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, get it back on, and then back here in the back, you can see I got a mess back here. I'm going to go ahead, put the pump back on, and instead of having all these parts out everywhere to where they can get lost. And anyway, to answer a question I had at the beginning, these pumps aren't interchangeable. You can see to my left, or to your left there, is a 951 pump. It is bigger than the this is the 787 over here. So answer that question once I compared it to that pump. But alright, like I said, I'm going to stop here, put all this back together, and maybe move on to the other ski. Alright, I'm really disappointed in the turnout of today. You know, when I got up this morning, I really thought that by the end of this day we were going to have that GTX running, and really was not expecting to find water has gotten down into the engine and seeing the rust. I haven't looked at all the video yet. Obviously I'm closing this video out, but I will take a look at it. But at this point I really don't know what to do. I mean, I could go ahead and pull the engine, but I'm just not real optimistic that you know, there's not going to be rust all down in the crank. So I really want to move on to the GTX, the 98 GTX, but even if I had all the parts and the bolts right now, I don't have a key. So kind of at a crossroads now, but so I'll think about it and see what I'm going to do. Think about what I'm going to do next. Let me know if you want, see me tear this engine down in the GTX here that I'm just working on, the 787. But anyway, stop here. As always, appreciate you joining me, and see you next time.